There she is, the pointy end of a cheese wedge. Swiss cheese, baby. Because I'm about to add some extra lightness, like that fella Chapman. But first we need some inspiration and a little mood lighting. You know this pain. If you've ever had to decide on a new colour for your car, and I dragged Soup's patrons along on this roller coaster with me, but now, me valued voyeur, I give you Lotus Esprit in Martini Green. My brother created these posters so that I had something to remind me what I'm grafting toward and keep me inspired on the donkey work days. You want to know the weird thing? Martini Green, or let's just say this green you're seeing here, it wouldn't ever have been on my list. But there's something about it. It's calling to me and it just feels right. If I can get the car to look like these images, life will be okay. So this episode is the final push to get the chassis components painted and maybe add a little flair along the way. Remember those words. The new stainless trailing arms are back from welding and they're coming up in a bit, but I'm starting with the old, very beat up arms because it'd be a missed trick not to include them in the paint lineup and have them as backups if the stainless ones have distorted too much. Yeah, that's the thing. I've been told to do this kind of stuff to make things look pretty and not for the sake of lightness. So I thought the best place to show off the prettiness of this cross brace was just here. And here it is looking pretty on the bench, where there was lots of finishing work to do. Lots. The 20 odd grams the speed holes took out of this part took almost exactly 2 hours to achieve. Good thing it looks so pretty, though, to be sure. I said a few episodes back that the suspension parts were prepared for paint, and it was just a case of finding a window in the Delta Auto Body spray booth. I lied to myself. It was wishful thinking for self-preservation's sake, I think. Like the knowledge of the amount of work that was still to do being repressed in real time. I've been working on these parts behind the scenes non-stop for weeks and months. Seeing them painted now, a few days later, in the quiet of my edit suite, almost gets me choked up. partly because I hate painting. I find it stressful and there was so much painstaking work leading up to it, but also partly because I saved these parts. What the next guy might call pitted and rough, I call lightened by nature and full of character. These are the parts that make up Series 2 Esprit number 458G. The ship of Theseus triggers broom, not this car. I've taken it on the same way someone would take on a three-legged, one-eyed dog. I couldn't love my pedigree chum more. Maybe a day is coming when some of these parts check out early. Maybe they've been around too long with too little care to be fit for purpose, but they'll get their fair shake, and a proper shakedown before then. I'm going to make sure of it. Oh yeah, almost forgot the stainless steel arms. They're lovely, thanks to an experienced man who has a creative streak of his own, and who opted out a video, which is a bonus when you're up to your neck in required shots. Thanks Tony for the help, and the lads too at City Spares for letting me disrupt the flow. The arms moved for sure, but they still slip into the jig, which has to mean they're close enough that shimming when it comes time to set up the suspension will dial out any small changes in geometry. The only question left is whether to leave them raw or paint them the black they would have been from the factory. I still don't have springs or hardware to bolt all this stuff up. There's nothing I can do about that. It's just how it is right now. I'm not going to tempt fate again by teeing you up for the rolling chassis build. It'll happen when it happens. And nobody's struggling more with patience for that day than myself. If you'd like to sign up for behind the scenes extra content and backstory, you can do so by following the link in the description. These videos are made possible for the most part by Soup's patrons. So thanks to Gav Saunders, Chris, Stuart Frearson, Kev O'Brien and Rombo de Graaf. And also my friends, like Gar and Sai at Delta Autobody, the people at P&M Parts, Rob at Extreme Plasma, the folk at Artec Welding, everyone at Delvo Engineering, and Kevin at Printergraph, who made my buddy Owen's beautiful Esprit imagery into deadly vinyl posters. I'm off to see about hanging them on the wall and getting a bit of colour in the dusty loft. Let's hope that colour makes for clickable thumbnails too. Thanks as ever for watching, hit like on the way out and subscribe for this build. I might not have another one in me. Who am I kidding? Until next time, stay stuck in and gooflick.